If you're looking for the next best thing to invest in, try investing in your long-term health with Forward. Forward is intelligent medicine with a personal touch. Their doctors are dedicated to catching top killers like cancer and heart disease early, which could save you tens of thousands of dollars in the long run. So invest in a doctor that's invested in you. Visit GoForward.com to learn more about how Forward can help you manage your long-term health risks for one flat monthly fee. That's GoForward.com.
Sans Pants Radio, Australia's least coherent podcast network.
This is the Ladies' Guide to Dude Cinema. My name is Alex J.
What?
And with me is my gorgeous co-host, Alex J.
This is a podcast where Alex J reviews all the movies that dudes have told her that she has to see.
And she's very good at doing two voices at once. I mean, I'm very good at doing... Sorry, I am...
This is so crazy. What a start.
Sorry, that was a little bit of a joke. I am Beck Charwood.
Oh my God.
If anyone this is their first episode and they're like, what the fuck?
Should we do just like a regular one for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
This is the Ladies' Guide to Dude Cinema. My name is Alex Shea, and with me is my gorgeous co-host, Beck Charwood.
This is the podcast where we want to see.
Perfect. And that's how we do.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Alexia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. We are in week of the lockdown. Is it week 2?
No, week 3. Because originally the lockdown was just for people who worked in the eastern and lived in the eastern suburbs. That went for a week, and then Sydney-wide lockdown started. I'm pretty sure that's the chronology of it. And now we're in week 2 of the greater Sydney-wide lockdown.
Cool. Great.
How are you faring?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
I'm actually killing it.
Yeah, great.
Not really.
I was wondering why you were sitting in the corner.
Yeah, just shaking like a small animal.
Like a little cat.
I'm fine. I'm trying to keep busy, trying to not spend 20 hours a day on TikTok.
It's hard though.
It is really, really hard, but we're getting there. I highly recommend, what I've done is I've downloaded an app that locks me out of social media.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, if that is something you are struggling with, I highly recommend it.
That's a great idea.
Very, very good. So I've just been setting those time limits and then breaking them. That's what I've been up to. What about you?
That's cool. So you can feel guilty just for being on social media, but then extra guilty because you broke a promise to yourself. I love it. What a great way to start the day.
Guilty spiral, baby. What have you been up to? How are you doing?
Oh, I have some great news.
What?
I'm back on Twitter, baby.
Yes. What the fuck?
After just a quick 9 weeks of suspension,
9
I got
weeks.
reinstated yesterday.
Yeah. You're back on the field.
They gave me the crown back yesterday, and it's exactly the same. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. As it were before.
I think I was romanticizing it in my head this whole 9 weeks. Like, if I was on Twitter, I'd be killing it, thinking of all these tweets. Like, I can't even tweet them. And they're not Instagram worthy. And now I'm back on. I'm like, blank. There's nothing.
There's nothing there.
I tweeted out a video that went quite well on TikTok. I tweeted it yesterday. 4 likes.
Oh, come on. That's bullshit.
Fuck you, Twitter. I don't care anymore.
Was that your Bill Withers video?
No, I haven't done that one yet. Thank you.
I obsess, guys. If you haven't seen Alex's Bill Withers TikTok, it's really funny. You should go check it out.
Thank you. It's only on Instagram because TikTok keeps muting it.
God,
I'm just a real renegade with socials lately. So yes, I'm back on Twitter. So tweet at me. I don't know. Yeah, again, I'm just completely disillusioned with it within an hour.
I think with all social media, like, fuck, I can't wait to have a scroll. And then you get there, you're like, my brain hurts.
Yuck.
Speaking of Twitter, we had a listener, Sophie H. She sent me this tweet, which I thought I would read out here because it's fantastic. This is from Jenny Yang, and she tweeted just 2 days ago, Man, fuck you, Tarantino, you Asian fetish culture leech creep bag. Go throw on one of your jizzy geisha robes and suck on your own damn troll toes and stop disrespecting the Asian cultures. You love to steal from the Asian cultures. You love to steal from, you troglodyte piece of shit. Oh, and Bruce Lee was American. So that was a great read.
Oh, I love that. Troglodyte piece of shit.
Yeah.
Is that right? Oh,
Troglodyte
beautiful.
is a fantastic
Poetry.
insult, and it should be used more often.
Oh my God. It's almost as good as that line. I can't remember it exactly. But
Come guzzling.
That's cunt tornado or something.
Yeah.
That Ryan Reynolds said on Blade.
Go back and listen to our
Yeah.
Blade Trinity episode
Incredible.
if you want to hear about that dialogue.
So troglodyte piece of shit is like on par with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was tweeted because Tarantino was talking about how like Bruce Lee had like no respect for American stuntmen, and that's why he like felt fine to like poke fun of him in his movie, and like then he got like I highly recommend go to check out the Jenny Yang tweet. It's broken down on her Instagram about Tarantino's history with not exactly respecting Asian culture.
I love it.
Yeah, and also Bruce Lee's son gets involved as well.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it gets real.
That's cool.
So yes,
That's cool, man. He's fucking Quentin Tarantino. He can afford to be taken down a couple of pegs.
yes, and so he should. His movies are weird.
It's so weird.
They're weird. They got too many feet. I don't
So
like
many
them.
feet. I hate feet.
Yeah, we should do a Tarantino. We're due for another
We actually
Tarantino
are
one soon,
due.
actually. Oh, we'll get in the. That's a great idea because we don't know what we're going to do next week. So,
Oh yeah, true.
yeah, we'll put out a little poll on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, and I can retweet it.
You can
now.
retweet it now. And let us know what Tarantino one we should do
Oh shit, yeah, cool.
next. Because there's so many. Well, before we get into that, let's talk about things that we enjoyed. What have you
Yes.
enjoyed watching this week?
I actually haven't started anything new this week that I can think of.
What?
I know.
But you're a professional cinema critic.
I know. I really can't. I'm drawing a complete blank.
That's impressive since we've been in lockdown for the whole
Yeah.
last week.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that comfort watch thing. I'm rewatching 30 Rock. I'm rewatching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Nice.
Workaholics. Like just easy stuff I've seen before. You know that thing about I saw it on Twitter at one point, like the reason people rewatch the same like sitcom show that they grew up with over and over is purely because it's just like calming anxiety, because you know what's going to happen. Nothing's surprising. You know, you're never going to like be too heightened emotionally. It's just comfortable.
Oh.
And I think the lockdown has brought that back out in me.
Nice.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
so
what are your top 3 comfort watches?
Friends. Sorry, I know.
Hey.
It's
You're allowed.
It's a dividing statement, but it's Friends and Frasier and at the moment 30 Rock.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a hot 3.
What's yours?
I love it.
You more about movies when you comfort watch?
No, definitely TV shows. I love Superstore at the moment on Netflix.
I keep meaning to try that.
Which I tore through at the start of the year, and then now I'm watching it for the second time because it's also fresh in my mind, so I know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's right there.
Yep.
30 Rock's up there, Parks and Rec. Oh, and Buffy. Oh, I love
Yes, that's a huge
love
one, isn't it?
Buffy.
Nice.
That's what I watched last lockdown.
Cool.
And I'm keen to start watching. If it gets announced that we're in for another week,
Saddle up,
Yeah.
Buff.
gonna pull out my steak and
We
90s
just-
crop tops.
We
Let's go.
just came off so much vampire stuff.
Oh my God. Yes, which is over on our Patreon.
Yeah.
We are completing Twilight.
The Twilight Chronicles.
Yes. And then we're done with vampires because
So
they're
done with vampires.
taking up my brain until I start watching Buffy.
Buffy, yeah.
And then I'm done. And then that's it.
No more bloodsuckers for me.
Yes.
What have you been watching?
Oh my God. I have a great recommendation for everyone this week.
Cool.
I don't know if this is available internationally, but if it's not, find a way to stream it wherever you are. The ABC series Love on the Spectrum.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I started watching that for the first time a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mustn't have remembered it. Oh my God. Had you seen it before?
No.
Oh, isn't it just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your entire life?
It is stunning. So for anyone that doesn't know, Love on the Spectrum is essentially like a dating and like kind of matchmaking show for people on the autism spectrum.
Yes.
And it is so beautiful and so pure and
And
heartwarming.
it's done so respectfully.
Yeah.
And like there's no punching down, there's no laughing at them or anything like that. It's all purely really good television.
Yes. Just so like
and informative and educational.
yeah, like properly I was like, this is great TV. This is like more shows like this should exist.
Yeah.
And I think they've come from like the vein of like You Can't Ask That and like Employable Me.
Yes.
Like they're all shows that are very much like about elevating other voices and
minorities and
in a really
informing,
respectful, heartwarming way that humanizes people. And
exactly.
one thing I did make the mistake though, I watched season 2 first.
Oh, okay.
And I will say if you are going to watch it, start from season 1
because there's ongoing characters.
Yes,
right?
ongoing characters in the second season. And
Who's your favorite?
Oh my god, this guy called Michael.
Michael's the best.
He stares directly into the calendar and he goes, "The mind is everything." Oh my god, I love him.
I really hope to one day have a wife.
Yes.
Because that is what good people do.
Yes.
He's so beautiful and he's such a romantic.
Yeah, and like spiritual as well and interesting and like, oh my
Can I
god.
tell you who my favorite character is?
Yes.
Michael's mum.
Okay,
Isn't she?
she's a fox.
She's so hot.
She's and so lovely
And so
as a person.
beautiful. Like she's so invested in him. And I love that she just she finds him so funny and she's just laughing at him all the time, but not laughing at him like in a like you're a weirdo way. She just finds everything he says, like she's like us, like so funny and beautiful, and she's just so support. All the parents on that show are just so beautiful and supportive.
Oh my god, yeah, but Vanessa for sure, the MVP.
Oh yeah, Vanessa. Yeah, she's my favorite.
She's
and then Michael.
amazing.
Great recommendation.
Yes, watch it. Especially it's good like for lockdown at the moment because it can seem a bit hopeless and anxious, and this is just it's so beautiful.
There's nothing bad. There's no drama. It's just all like sometimes like the dates don't work out and it's sad and stuff, but there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing dramatic or just TV grabby about it. It's just a really heartwarming show.
Yeah, I think I cried of happiness and sadness at least 3 times like per episode.
Yes.
Like it's really fuck yes.
Oh, great recommendation. I just want before we get into this movie, I just want to retroactively apologize. Someone did actually recommend Blade to us in the beginning, and I forgot to shout them out.
Oh my god.
I know. I don't know what's going on with me and my admin skills at the
Why are you
moment.
such a bitch?
Such a slut. I don't know.
Oh my
I
god.
keep saying it in the mirror. It doesn't change anything.
Just get back out on the streets and walk them like you always do.
It's this bloody lockdown.
Who did we forget?
So that girl over there on the Sans Pants Plus forum originally
Oh my god.
recommended Blade. So she said, once to get some sweet lovin', I went with a dude and paid my hard-earned cash to see Blade at the movies, but it was so bizarre. I don't really remember anything except that they stole Morpheus's look from The Matrix.
That girl over there, you are so correct.
Yes,
oh my
and
god.
Thank you for the reco, and it turns out we ended up doing all 3 of them.
Yeah, so I hope that
That's
is
your
enough
fault.
apology. Damn.
All right. But this week,
Yes.
we're taking a divergence from the vampire world.
Yeah.
In-
Well, are we?
I mean, yeah,
This
it's
mo-
still dark.
this fucking
One dark world to another dark world.
yeah.
This week we're going into serial killer world
Mm.
with potentially one of the biggest serial killer movies of all time.
I would say so. Yeah.
And that movie is Seven.
Yes.
SE7EN.
Has this been recommended by anyone?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Seven. So it was recommended to us by Zach on Instagram. Zach said that he's been with his girlfriend for nearly 5 years and she still rolls her eyes whenever he gushes over this film. So he wants us to review it for him and for her.
Zach, thank you so much for the recommendation. I want to warn you, you're probably not going to like what I have to say about this movie. But we'll see.
exciting.
We still love you nonetheless.
Of
And
course.
thank you for your contribution.
Yes. So maybe this review is more for the girlfriend who rolls her eyes
Yes, yeah.
than Zach.
Which is kind of who we make this podcast
That's
for,
true,
really.
actually,
So you go fuck yourself, Zach, with all the love and respect in the world.
So, had you ever seen Seven before?
No, but I knew about this because this movie came out in 2000.
95, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. I thought it came out later because I had a friend in high school, Abby. I will not say her last name because I've done that previously on this podcast. And that person may have reached out and said, don't do that.
Can you redact, please?
Yes. So Abby, she watched it and she was like, it's the most fucked up thing I ever seen, and like would tell me about it in detail. And I was like 14. I was like, this sounds so scary, and you're 14 and you shouldn't be watching that. That sounds bad.
That's naughty.
Yeah. And so that was like, I remember her being like, it's the most fucked up thing, and being into it. And that was like my first time experiencing someone who like loved watching like fucked up stuff. And not just like, she's not a fucked up person, but like there was.
Found it fascinating.
Yeah. This like, I think a lot of teenagers, and there was a big generation of them at the time who were just like the Saw people, like loved like House of Wax, like all the like torture porny kind of movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That was me.
Yeah.
100%.
No, Alexia.
In high school. Yeah, I loved fucked up stuff.
What were your favorite fucked up movies?
7 was a big one.
No!
I know. I was
my
waiting
God.
to reveal that. I'm sorry to interrupt. You keep going.
This is going to be an interesting debate. I'm excited. And I was like, oh, that's so crazy. So that was really eye-opening to me. This was the first movie, like gross movie I heard of that people were like, I love it because it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. And then that totally paved the way for your Saws, your Hostels.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, Hostel, no.
Do you remember Hostel?
Yes, I'm just remembering. Oh, my God. Sorry.
You poor thing. Having a visceral memory reaction.
I just remember the poster. It was like the guy with the drill in his mouth.
Yeah, I loved the Hostel. I went and saw all of them at the movies.
Oh my God.
I don't know what I think it's just, I didn't like love it like, oh yeah, I want to do it as well. It's just that, I think it's just that, which is what true crime is too, like that fascination of the dark side of humanity.
Yeah.
And like what fucked up stuff, like how fucked up can people get?
Yeah.
But with the protection of like, I'm not involved, I'm just watching it or hearing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me for sure.
So you've seen 7.
Yes.
Do you love it? It's your favorite movie ever?
I haven't seen it in a few years. So I was interested to see if it holds up because I haven't seen it since starting this podcast.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, through the prism of the podcast, does it hold up? But I've seen it so many times, and my boyfriend Luke has not seen it, and I'm totally dude cinnamering it to him.
Oh my God.
ASAP.
Okay, I can't wait to hear what
Yeah.
you have to say, what he has to say.
Oh, so what did you know about it in terms of storyline?
I pretty much knew everything. I knew massive spoilers if you haven't
huge
seen
spoilers.
this movie.
Please don't listen to this episode.
Yeah, that's
actually
all we ever really do. But so it's about like 2 detectives, and there's a serial killer, and he kills people based on the 7 deadly sins.
So you knew all that?
Yeah, I knew all of that. And I particularly knew about I remember hearing about the gluttony one.
Oh, okay.
That's what Abby talked about in detail.
Right.
And
It is pretty gross.
it made me feel really ill. I did not like you.
And did you know the ending?
Yes.
You
I
did.
did know the ending because as well, I am obsessed with mojo.com top 10 lists.
Okay.
It's just basically, I highly recommend if you want to burn so much time into fucking nothing. It's a YouTube channel and they just have like all these different top 10 lists.
Okay.
And it was like, this is in like top 10 like twists of all time, top 10 like most iconic lines of all time. And it's the what's in the box scene at the end with Brad Pitt.
Cool.
Yeah.
It is huge. So but did you know what was in the box?
Yes, I did know what was in the box, which kind of was, I think I would have enjoyed this a lot more if I did not know what was in the box.
Yes. I literally was talking to Luke about 7 this morning, and I was very precariously was like, so do you know what happens at the end, to try not to give anything away? And he said no. And I'm really excited for that.
Oh my
Like,
God.
holy shit, you are a newborn baby in this movie.
You're going to be so fucked up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so fucked up. I'm gonna like stare at him the entire movie. Anytime she's on screen, I'm gonna look at him and just be like, he's like, why are you looking at me? I'm like, you'll find out. I'm gonna be the dude, and I'm so excited.
Hell yes.
I think I've just always really liked like, you know, those that era of the 90s big twist surprise endings. Like I think this and like The Sixth Sense were like probably the 2
Oh yeah.
that I like first saw where they can really just like change everything right at the end or do something mental right at the end of the movie. And that's just like would have just been so exciting back in the day.
Yeah.
So I think that's what got me over the line for this as well. Yes. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Do you like what you do for a living? These things you see?
You have to wear blinders sometimes. Most times.
Detective William Somerset is looking for a way out.
You're retiring. 6 more days and you're all the way gone.
So how long have you lived here?
Too long.
Detective David Mills is looking for a way in.
We'll be spending every waking hour together from now until the time I leave. I'll show you who your friends and enemies are.
Look, I've worked homicide 5 years. Not here.
Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a homicide.
they're caught in a game.
No fingerprints and no witnesses of any kind.
Nope.
About the only thing we know about that guy right now is he's totally insane.
Where the price of sin is death.
There are 7 deadly sins. Gluttony,
You're going to come take a look at this.
greed,
No one touches anything.
sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy. 7. You can expect 5 more of these.
Body was found on Tuesday morning.
I hate this city.
We're gonna get who did this.
This will be the very definition of swift justice.
There are 2 more bodies, 2 more victims.
This guy's methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient.
He's laughing at us.
7 Deadly Sins, 7 Ways to Die. 2 homicide detectives are on a desperate hunt for a serial killer whose crimes are based on the 7 deadly sins in this dark and haunting film that takes viewers from the tortured remains of one victim to the next. The seasoned detective Somerset researches each sin in an effort to get inside the killer's mind, while his novice partner Mills scoffs at his efforts to unravel the case.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So how would you describe this movie for anyone who hasn't seen it
Okay.
and also doesn't mind spoilers?
very differently.
Okay.
So this story is about a serial killer accurately portrayed by Kevin Spacey.
Whoops, Kevin Spacey's in
Yeah,
this movie.
That really adds, trigger warning if you do want to rewatch it. Really added to, I guess, like my yucky feelings I have around it because
Yeah.
I was just looking at it being like, oh no.
Did you know that he was the killer until
Yes.
before he was revealed?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I was just preparing my anus for that. And then the whole time watching him on screen was very icky because everyone's like, at the time, everyone's like, wow, he's great,
Incredible.
great. He plays such a good psycho. And then we were like, oh, but he's not acting. He's actually the worst. Ugh. But so basically, he's a serial killer, and
Almost as good of a performance as his performances in those weird videos that he does at Christmas time. Do you remember those that we looked up?
oh yes,
Those weird non-apology videos.
yeah,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
So performance on par with that
Yeah.
in terms of fucking weird, creepy shit.
Jesus.
Mm.
Anyway, so he's in this. Then Brad Pitt
Mm.
and Morgan Freeman. Also, can I say as well, my view of Brad Pitt was marred during this as well because I recently listened to a 3-part podcast about his relationship with Jennifer Aniston and then Angelina Jolie, and he doesn't seem like an awesome dude.
Oh man,
Not like anything like just
cancelable. But
just like oh, you're a dick.
yeah, look, I think we should just default that everyone in Hollywood's a dick until they're
Yeah.
proven otherwise.
Yeah, I imagine being famous would automatically make you a dick. It's like no one relies on you. No one's like, hey, can you help me move house? Hey, my mum died. Can you come over and hang
Help
out?
me.
You're not getting
Yeah.
those calls.
Brad Pitt's not coming to
Yeah.
that.
No one's like, my kids are sick. Can you look after them? They don't get those
No.
calls.
And it's a chicken or the egg situation too. It's like, is it that dicks become famous because they're dicks, or is it people become famous and then become dicks?
I think it's, a dick to dick situation.
It's one of our favourite situation.
But regardless, Brad Pitt is a very talented actor.
Great actor, yeah.
And his performance in this is really good, I will say. But still, I was watching him with a careful eye. Just being like, you son of a
know what you were about to do.
bitch.
Yeah. I guess he hadn't dated Jen yet because he was actually dating Gwyneth Paltrow during this movie.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
this is pre-Jen Aniston.
Okay, so this was pre-Dickness.
Maybe it was pre-Dick.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not related to the plot of this movie whatsoever. So anyway, he's like the young, dick-swinging detective. And then there's like the old detective Morgan Freeman who's like, it's my last, damn, I was 1 week from retirement before this damn serial killer came up in here.
Always the way.
Yeah. And started serial killing all these people. And anyway, so they're like just two boys having a rough and tumble being like, I'm right. No, I'm right. Meanwhile, this guy's just ka-cha, chopping and doing weird shit and
feeding and more chopping.
Yeah, while they're just constantly
writing notebooks.
Yeah, just having an ego war between each other.
Yeah.
And anyway, eventually after Gwyneth Paltrow intervenes and is like, look, just sit down and have some goddamn dinner together. And then after one dinner, they're like, okay, I get you. I respect
guess we
you.
could be friends.
We're best friends. Let's solve this fucking crime.
Yes.
So they get back and they're solving
and then it's
it.
buddy cop territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but they still approach it with different energies. You know, they're still them, but an alliance.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just really fucked up and the murders are yuck and weird. And also a part of this movie is it seems like it's in like a big city, but then the murders are like, it's like, well, everyone knows that this lawyer
is within one block of each other.
Yeah, loves money. Like, so he's greed, and then you know this lady has
plastic surgery
and likes how she looks, so everyone knows that she's got pride, and so you know. And I was like, is this a big city or a small town?
A tiny town. Yeah.
Pick. It's one of them. Anyway. So then basically the five people die. And then at the end, there's a big whoop-de-roo. They go out to hold on, let me start again. So 5 people die, and then they catch him, and then, they don't catch him. He walks into the police station, and they're like, we caught you. And he's like, but I wanted you to catch me.
He's a little stinker.
Yeah, and they're like, this isn't part of your plan. And he's like, it is part of my plan. They're like, no, it's not. And so then anyway, he drives them out to the desert. And he's like, I'll tell you where the last two are. And they drive out to the desert and there's no one there. And they're like, what the flipsy is going on here?
Kevin, what's going on, you rapscallion?
The only people out here. So like,
what the frick?
Where are these other people? And then he's like, I don't know. Maybe that kind of answered your question.
He's such a little bitch.
And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you said we're the only people out here and there's 2 more people to go. So, like, what's going on?
What do you reckon?
And then, huge spoiler alert, turns out he, skip ahead now, he chopped off Gwyneth Paltrow's head, put it in a box.
It's a head in a box.
And then gives he doesn't give the box to Brad Pitt, but
as a delivery driver.
Delivery driver comes along.
Which is a lot of showmanship. He could have just had the box, put it semi-buried it and then driven out. You know, he had to do this fanfare of like, there's a delivery driver. It's like, so get over yourself, Kevin.
Yeah. I also love the thing. This is so petty, but he's like, it'll be delivered at exactly 7 o'clock. I was like, have you had anything delivered before?
That's like, you are putting a lot of faith in this delivery service.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be out there till 7 the next day.
I have paid like the most for, I once paid $80 for something to be shipped overnight.
Oh my God.
Guess what? It didn't fucking come in time.
Oh my God. This is obviously pre-COVID times because they didn't get me started on delivery expectations during COVID.
So anyways, and then Brad Pitt finds out, and then he's like, yes, it was my plan all along. Now you have to kill me.
Wrath, your wrath. You kill me, that's wrath.
Yes.
And then we're all good.
And then what was his? Envy? Yeah, he's like, yes, my sin is envy because I wanted to fuck your wife. I envied your life. I was like, it sounds like you're really pushing it here. It doesn't actually sound like envy.
So true. It does a little bit sound like you got to 5 and you're like, shit, there's 2 more.
Yeah.
And I've got like Morgan Freeman's retiring in like a day. I really need to get this shit together. Wrath and envy. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
You really just like scrambled it together at the end.
And I was like, you don't actually sound envious because people are like usually really good at hiding their jealousy. I think he got to that. He's like, how am I going to know?
Yeah. Yeah.
How am I going to know? Anyway, so at the end then Brad Pitt goes into Kevin Spacey's head and then for a second I was like, yay. And I was like, oh, it's a movie. Fun. Anyway.
Satisfying though, nonetheless.
Yeah. And so then the ending is just really sad and Brad Pitt gets taken off in a cop car and
will likely spend the rest of his life in jail because he murdered a suspect who was unarmed.
Yeah, I know. It's bullshit. And then they're like to Morgan Freeman. This pissed me off so much. Like, he just watches him go away and then they're like, where will you be, Detective Somerset? And he's like, around.
Ugh.
I'll be around.
Just answer the question.
I was like, what do you mean?
He just wants to know where you're going.
Just like also be sorry for your mate.
Also, yeah. Be like, I'm actually going to stick around here for a bit.
Yeah.
Probably visit him, help him get a good lawyer.
I'm going to pay his bail. I'm going to testify in court.
Exactly.
Be specific, cunt.
And the guy's just like, around. Huh.
Yeah.
That's enough information for me.
Cool. Anyway, so that's what happened in this movie.
Okay.
For anyone that hasn't seen it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we start with cast?
Let's do it. So,
Morgan Freeman.
yes.
I feel like we're always watching Morgan Freeman waiting to get out of something. This had huge Shawshank vibes for me. You know how in Shawshank he's like waiting he gets bail. I mean, what's the word? He gets let out on
parole.
Parole.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm losing my nouns. I can't remember what nouns.
You're so right.
Like he's and this had a very similar vibe. Like he's waiting for retirement. He's 7 days away from retirement. So I'm keen to watch a movie where Morgan's just like happy where he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to move on from anything.
Chilling. We should watch Bruce Almighty.
Be stoked just for being God.
Yeah, a reprieve.
What did you think of Morgan's performance?
I loved him. He was great. He was great. He's always satisfying to watch on screen.
Yeah.
His character was really reserved. The one part of his performance I didn't like was when he had dinner with Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow and he like laughed like a bit too hard that it was kind of scary.
Oh, at how they live above the subway.
Yeah, and the whole house shakes. His reaction to that, I was like, that's has this man laughed in a while? This is full on.
That gave me huge vibes of someone who doesn't socialize very often.
Yeah.
And he's like real excited for it in this one instance.
Yeah.
He's really letting his hair down.
Yeah. Full on. I mean, I guess then true to character at least. But yeah, what did you think of him?
Yeah, he was great. He's never not great. You know, he's Morgan Freeman, and that's who he was in this movie, and that's what this movie needed for sure.
Yeah.
I heard that Denzel Washington was offered the role originally, and he turned it down because like the screenplay was too dark and like morbid for him.
Understandable.
But he's since said that he regrets that decision because it's now like it's just one of the biggest like murder thriller movies of all time.
Yeah.
But I think Morgan did. I think he did much better than I can't imagine Denzel. I think he would have been too like abrasive.
Yeah, and I think alongside Brad Pitt, who is like the abrasive character, that would have been too much aggression.
Yes,
I think
he needed Morgan's character to be like soft and wise and quiet.
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah, and which he's perfect for that.
So that dynamic worked really well.
Yeah. Brad Pitt.
Yep.
Cool. John C. McGinley. I'm kidding.
Brad Pitt was great in this.
Yeah. His baby Brad Pitt. So I read that this is kind of like his second movie. Like the only other one he'd done was Legends of the Fall. He'd just come off the back of that.
What the fuck is that?
I've never seen it, but I remember my mum used to love it. I think it's like it's a horny movie. think this, I might be getting them mixed up, but I think he plays like the young hot stud and he's always shirtless in it. And so he came off that and wanted to do something serious and where he's not shirtless and isn't just like a sex symbol and can actually show his acting. So like then he got 7. So that's what this movie is for Brad Pitt.
Wow. Okay, I am doubly impressed now that this is like his second movie. That's very fucking...
Yeah. This like definitely would have paved the way for him to end up being in Fight Club.
Yes.
Because I think that was actually directed by the same person.
That makes a lot of sense because I saw the name David Fincher.
Yeah, and you're like, I know that name.
Yes, okay, you had the same response.
I had the same thing. I'm like, that is a dude cinema name.
I was like, what?
Yeah, he directed Fight Club.
Oh, and Zodiac and Gone Girl. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so there's a, he's a dark dude.
Boy. Giddy. I don't know.
David.
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Yeah. So yeah, Brad Pitt, really, really good. I didn't like super love his chemistry with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, I was perplexed by that too.
Yeah, I didn't super believe. It's why that they were dating during this because they didn't really give off couple vibes.
But do you know what it was? I had the same thought and I couldn't put it down to like, is it that she just doesn't have enough screen time where it's just the two of them? Like whenever we see her, mostly Morgan Freeman's also there, so they can't be like super cute together or like.
Well, I think it's like in the moments that we did see them, it wasn't overly affectionate. This is one part of the movie that I really didn't like.
Right.
Was that they could have done so much more to build up their relationship. It was really pushed to the side. And like, so when they were together, they weren't overly affectionate. He particularly wasn't super affectionate to her. Like when he like comes home from work, he goes straight to hang out with the dogs. While she makes dinner.
I noticed that. I was like, oh, Bradley, okay. Give her a little bit of attention to the human in the room. Thank you.
Yeah, especially while you have company over.
Yeah,
like,
and who has given up her life to move to this city/small town for your job.
Yeah.
And she's desperately depressed.
Yeah.
In this new situation.
Yeah.
Give her a hug.
Yeah. And he doesn't seem to like give her like, she doesn't have like any real interest that he asks about or like.
Yeah.
Anything, but she just really, I mean, that does paint the picture that she's lonely, but even when Gwyneth Paltrow's like says why she like her favorite thing about him is like he's the funnest guy ever. And I was like, you guys look like you have no fun.
Where is the fun?
I mean, this is like a really like sad part of your marriage, obviously, but I was like, I don't see that. He seems like the most overconfident guy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They got together when they were in high school. She said he was the funniest guy I'd ever met. And in my head, I'm like, so you'd met 2 guys by then? Like, what, 16, 17?
Yeah. It's like he can do those underarm farts.
Babe, just wait. You're going to meet heaps funnier people.
He's got the best your mum jokes.
His farts are rank.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because Morgan Freeman has a very funny line after that because he's like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just didn't, you're right. I didn't spot that chemistry at all.
Yeah.
Which would have served the movie better if they had built more chemistry because of the payoff at the end.
Yes.
It'd be even more heartbreaking if we were like, oh, they were so happy together.
Yeah. And particularly as well, something that really irked me was that she was pregnant and didn't tell him.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, this was we have many things to say on this. But in regards to their relationship, she goes to Morgan Freeman to be like, I'm pregnant, what do I do? And it's like, what, you need to talk to your partner about this.
Yes, he's absolutely the person you should be talking to about this.
Yeah. Like, it just, to me, I'm just like, that's such a bad relationship dynamic. Yeah. And that makes me think, I'm like, you guys aren't connected. Like, you guys aren't communicating. Like, no wonder you're so depressed.
Communication is number one. Like, I am obsessed with partners communicating. That's why I can't stand, like, I'm finding it hard with the Twilight series. They don't communicate. And I had the same reaction. I was like, you haven't told him? You've known him. Like, I have to imagine they're in their 30s by now, or at least 30.
Like late 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have been together for, we're assuming, 12 years. Your first pregnancy, and you're not telling him yet. Instead, you go to Morgan Freeman, who you've met once.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then he also says, if you aren't going to keep it, don't tell him you're getting rid of it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Woo.
So you're just like, oh, so this small town girl, barely a woman, is pregnant to the love of her life. And you think that process is, she can just do that on
By
her
herself. And also for Brad's character, he's going to want to know.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's very 1995 script. I think that wouldn't happen where it, like, because that was presented as like the wise Morgan Freeman character giving wise advice.
Yeah.
Now that would not happen.
Well, because it would emotionally, his stance on it is like, it will destroy him. It would really hurt his feelings.
If you had an abortion.
So you really have to consider things from his point of view.
So you need to go through this potentially traumatic experience by yourself. I'm not going to help you. Absolutely not. I have to leave.
Yeah.
And I'm socially awkward.
Sorry, bye.
But you have fun.
Yeah. But this is where like I rarely does it come up so glaringly obvious is like, this is where a male writer fucked up writing a female character.
Yes.
Like really poorly
so true.
portrayed here. And it was just used, and the whole thing, it was like used as a plot device to make the twist at the end of the movie even more harrowing.
Yes, yeah.
Like, and I didn't vibe with that at all.
Like, I wonder why they chose to do that, because they could have still had it that she's pregnant and hasn't told him yet. Because the moment where he's like, Brad Pitt realizes that she was pregnant because Kevin Spacey says it. That is an excellent moment. Like, you keep that in. So going back, she needs to still have not told him. But like, there was you could totally frame it as in like, she's just confused, doesn't know what to do about the pregnancy, but she's really excited to tell Brad when he gets home from work that night. You know, like it doesn't have to be that she's going to get an abortion maybe and keep it from, like, why was that in there? Yeah. It feels like it didn't serve any part of the story except to show that she's horribly depressed.
Yeah, and like doesn't have anyone to turn to. But it was just
she has a
like,
phone, right? I'm sure she has friends and family in other cities/small towns.
Yeah,
give them a call. Chat to them about what to do. Don't go to this old man you just met.
Call your mum.
Call your mum. Yeah, that was really weird. I forgot about all that. Yeah.
That was the part of the movie where I was like, I don't like this. I don't like your portrayal of her. It really didn't serve the movie, and I think it could have so much better.
Yeah, so true. And like again, just made that payoff at the end even huger.
Yeah. The other side, I really loved her performance in this.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you normally like a Gwyneth?
Well, no, we don't, because the last time we saw her was as Pepper Potts throughout all of Marvel movies.
So boring. Yeah.
Which, like, it's interesting because, like, in this, she's, like, really soft and really sweet. And, like,
and innocent and just
sad.
Yeah.
And she played that character really, really well. For the minimal screen time she was given, she did play it really well.
Yeah. It was very believable. I believed who she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no really any cast members.
How dare you? John C. McGinley is in this.
You're right.
Okay, aka Dr. Cox from
himself.
Scrubs.
He pops up in these movies so often.
Yes.
Before Scrubs, he had a real like B-roll character career.
Yeah.
Like Platoon. I'm sure there's another one. But yeah, because he wasn't like huge in this movie. He was just like the cop that goes to the scenes sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great. I loved him in this. I always love seeing his face.
Yeah.
He is so fantastic as an actor. And I really wish that I'd seen him in more diverse roles than we do.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of just see him as like the hardened like patrol officer, like someone in or even in like Point Break. Like,
he was in Point Break.
He played the same role in Point Break.
He did, didn't he?
And I'm like, he does it so well, but I'm like, give me more. Give me more.
A hardened person in a role of authority. Yeah. And then like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he still is as Dr. Cox, but at least they have like seasons worth of time to delve into him and show his light and shade.
Yeah.
because he's excellent.
He's so great.
So good.
And in this, I think he only has like 2 minutes of screen time tops.
Yeah, because he's the one that leans into and the sloth guy and says like, you deserve what you got. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's okay. So they painted him, they gave him a character.
Yeah.
And then he's the guy in the helicopter at the end.
Yeah. Just being like, follow him, pass it out, get your guns ready. I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Draw.
Yeah. Oh, can I say sorry? This is I should have mentioned this at the start. So I bought this movie on YouTube.
Yes.
To watch.
Same thing. Mm-hmm.
But then there was no subtitles.
No. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So, and I couldn't, because people are like whispering in this movie and it's dark, and I was like, I need something to know what's going on. So then I bought it again on Amazon Prime.
I did the exact same thing.
Are you serious?
I had the exact same sequence of events.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone. I was like, I literally feel so dumb that I've spent this much money.
I did too. It was really hard to press that second rent.
Oh my God.
$4.99 on Amazon Prime. I did too, for those exact reasons.
Yeah.
Like, I need captions.
Yeah.
I'm happy to not do the 1.25 speed in lieu of captions.
Yes. Please.
So, yeah, I bought it twice.
Okay, that's wild. Also, like, caption your shit. I'm just realizing
on
that
YouTube too. I was really surprised.
Yeah, like it also like as well. I've been seeing a lot of stuff recently that it's like it also makes so much stuff more accessible to people who are like hearing impaired.
For sure, yeah.
So I'm like, yes,
caption it if
everything
you can.
should be captioned.
Everything should be captioned.
Especially one of apparently the biggest movies of all time.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Weird.
So if people from YouTube are listening, thank you.
Thank you for listening. It's weird that you are. I don't know why you're here.
Thank you. Can we have some money, please?
Money, please. Okay, so that's John C.
Mm-hmm. The rest of the cast,
Inconsequential.
yeah, not too sure
Felt like
what's going down.
You know how Kevin Spacey's character, like his whole thing, his whole identity is that he's like, the world is fucked, everyone's going to hell, so I need to make an example of these people so that people change their ways and stuff. And he's all real like high and mighty, holier than thou. I'm awake, you're all asleep. That guy.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon if he was like alive now, he would just be like that Twitter guy that's just like, or like the talk, like he wouldn't be a murderer. He'd just be doing like explanations to camera about how we're all sheep, and he would be absolutely anti-vax. He'd be like, I got such that vibe, especially in the scene where he's in the back of the cop car and doing his little speeches to the two detectives about like why he's doing what he's doing. I just got such a like, oh, you fucking douchebag. I hate those people.
Someone just get this man a YouTube channel,
right?
Like,
and a ring light, and just let him go nuts. So the internet actually saves lives sometimes, I reckon.
Yes. So thank you to all the psychos out there. Oh my God. Okay. So on his little speeches in the car, Brad Pitt's character says something very interesting that I'm like, wow, things have changed over time, where he's like, he says it a couple times where he's just like, this guy's just mentally ill. Like,
like, oh, you got him.
Yeah.
So true. Like it's a crime.
Yeah, it's like in the 90s being mentally ill was like you're a serial killer, you're like or someone who like assaults people, like you're
so true. You're
the
violent.
true evil of the world. You're a psychopath. And now it's like, no, we're all mentally ill.
Everyone's mentally ill,
Everyone's
Bradley.
a little bit crazy.
You're right. Mentally ill is such a weird phrase for the script writers to put in there. Like, he could just say psychopath every time.
Yeah.
But mentally ill is such an umbrella term. Like, you could just have anxiety.
Yeah. It's like he was quick flicking through the thesaurus. And it's like, psychopath, mentally ill. Get it.
Yeah, cool.
All of the adjectives.
Let's go.
Because as well, like, I just hated that it's like his apartment was like this weird, like,
A very nice
satanic dark room with like a glowing red cross. And like they're like, yeah, that's how mentally ill people live.
No, it's not.
No, it's just honestly, you can go into my bedroom right now. It's just so much laundry.
Just messy
and
rooms.
So many cans of Coke next to the bed. Like to the point I've just like started putting my phone on the ground before I take them downstairs. Like that's
You can't carry a phone and
no.
Exactly.
That's what a mentally ill
That's a mentally
person
ill
room is
person's
like.
apartment. Or flip side, if you go
Yeah.
up to my side of
Yeah.
end of the thing, ridiculously tidy and panic attacks if anything's out of place.
Yeah.
He could be either of those. Why does he have to be satanic about it? Because that's another thing that they imply that he's written like 2,000 notebooks of his thoughts and stuff. Apparently, the set designers actually created 2,000 notebooks.
No, they didn't.
Apparently, they did.
Shut up.
No, they told me, and it was really cool. I was really impressed.
I mean, like, I guess there's no way that they bought 2,000 notebooks and then like
filled them
wrote
out. Yeah.
But that's like some shit you would do if you're like, I'm gonna fucking wring every cent out of these assholes. But also,
It's a
like,
waste of time.
Skipper Rooney said this, not me. They're like, the only is like that is like the true mark of a psycho. But also, like, imagine how many notebooks like we have lying around of like just our thoughts. Like, I got a box of them right there. You can see them. All those glittery notebooks, those pink glittery notebooks.
Oh, they're glittery.
They're all my comedy notebooks.
That's
just
a bit different to his notebook.
Yeah. But still, it's just his thoughts on paper.
Yeah.
I mean, ours are very different thoughts, but still.
I bet there's no structure to his.
Yeah.
There's no setup punch in his.
Oh, I guarantee if we go through those, there is nary a punchline in there.
Oh, yeah.
But psycho shit.
Psycho. Can I just say, Brad Pitt loves pointing with his whole hand. Have you ever seen that? It's always this. Do you notice? Okay, remember that next time you watch a Brad Pitt movie?
Okay.
He points with his entire hand.
Yeah, he's like, one finger isn't good enough.
No, I can't. I need to, all five. I really
At
need
once.
to make my point. And
interesting.
He's always creaky with leather. He's always wearing leather jackets and creaking around.
Yeah, the long leather jackets in this. I'm so glad that phase is over.
Oh, thank God.
That is so
Yuck.
Yuck.
So stinky and sweaty.
Right, and it's like not particularly warm either. Like
No, it doesn't trap the heat, just makes you sweat.
Ugh.
I did note that the F slur popped up a couple of times in this.
Yes, they did use that.
There was some dated language.
Well,
very, very 1995.
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting the two things that have not aged well are the F word and the term mental illness.
Yeah, true. And did you notice this? Just I don't know why I couldn't get this out of my head after it happened in the movie. So when they're talking about how they were duped into getting this rental because they didn't realize it was right above the subway and every 5 minutes. So they're like, the real estate guy, he showed us the apartment a few times. It was lovely, but we always thought it was weird that he would never bring us there for more than 5 minutes. Can you imagine a time where you got to see a rental 3 times before you sign a lease? Like you have that option. Like they want you to sign as opposed to we desperately want to sign.
Please let me have this house.
I'm sure from the 2 minutes I was there, I'm really happy with it and I'm willing to live in it for at least 12 months.
My God.
Imagine that time.
Also, how do you have time to go to a rental property, the same rental property 3 times?
Yeah, before you sign. What are you doing in there?
You have too much time on your hands.
That's my biggest problem with this movie.
Yeah, understandable. It's not accurate of how the rental market is.
Did you find it scary?
Not really. I just was kind of like grossed out by it, and like I had like a lot of like jump scenes, like particularly when the guy who was nearly murdered for sloth when he jumped up. That was really fucking scary.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What about you?
Yeah, I did. Because I hadn't seen it in a few. Yeah, probably more the gross outness of it. But it was like creepy and eerie and spooky and
Yucko. I think like, how did you feel about this movie on a rewatch?
I still really like it, but I think I'm doing the dude cinema thing of I have such nostalgia attached to it.
Right, yeah.
I was really interested to see what it's like on a first watch. So what's your overall?
I really didn't like it.
Okay.
I think because now it's the true crime trend is really popular, and also like I think it's brought to light that it's like there are so many awful fucked up things that happen in this world that you don't need to make up these stories. And it's like I think true crime is getting better now at being like slightly more respectful to victims. I think that's coming around. I think slowly where that's a trend that's happening at the moment. But like I really didn't like how performative this was and grotesque it was, and like kind of like almost like heralding this guy a little bit. It's like, look what a crazy mastermind he is and how fucked up that is. And I just really didn't like that aspect of it.
Totally get that.
And I'm sure there's a lot of hypocritical things for how much true crime that I have consumed over my life. But I just really didn't like that. And I also was like, this story didn't need to. There's so many awful things. And I was like, this just,
There's no one moment of brevity or niceness in this movie.
Yeah.
It's all very dark, both visually and emotionally.
Yes.
Nothing good happens.
Yeah, that's exactly a big part of it as well. And I think is like we're kind of past this era of like torture porn and grossness, because I think it was really popular for like young adults and like it was the thing of like you hadn't really felt a lot. You were numb to a lot of things. So you're like, yeah, this is making me feel something.
Yeah, and also I think that's what got me in originally, like just learning that people can do fucked up stuff in the world.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This opens a whole new like thing to think about humanity.
To push it to like the nth degree of like what's the most fucked up thing we can think about and put it on screen. And then as an adult you're like, no, we don't.
I don't need that, to be honest. I'm all good up here.
Yeah.
I can do it myself if I need to.
Consume more than 7 minutes of news a day, and that sends me into a full panic attack.
Exactly.
So I don't need this.
I can conjure up those panic attacks all by myself.
Yeah. I think the final frontier of that genre was like the Human Centipede.
Oh my God.
And
Did you ever see that?
No, and I never will.
I couldn't even bring myself to see that. I was like, even I know that is purely just to be gross and shocking.
Yeah.
I know there's no storyline in that movie.
Yeah, and you're like, and that's it. That's as far as we can possibly go.
Yes.
Without turning into some fetish site that's illegal and has to be on the dark web.
Oh my God, so true.
Like, that's it, we're done. Now just to move on to the true stories.
Yay! To get really scared and double lock our doors at night. I think this was also around the time, I think the world, or like Western culture, was really obsessed with the idea of serial killers in the 90s, and then it graduated to torture porn.
Yeah.
I think serial killers was a big thing.
Yeah.
Just like people who can kill more than once and
mentally
not get caught.
ill
These mentally
maniacs.
ill fucks. Cool. Well, shall we wrap up?
Let's do it.
All right. Question 1.
Mm-hmm.
Becca.
Yes.
Did the movie 7 make you horny?
No. Fuck no.
Weird. Okay.
Gosh,
Wow.
no. Yeah. What about you?
No, absolutely not.
Good.
Would you recommend this movie on a date?
No.
Okay, so do you think I shouldn't do cinema to Luke?
I mean,
You
it's
can
up
say
to you.
no.
It's your
You can say
relationship.
no. You can say no.
No, don't do it
Okay.
to him. Please.
I'm still gonna. And he better like it.
It's all right. It's your relationship. You can do what you want.
Thank you. I think I would recommend this movie on a date, but only if you both are keen for some real dark shit.
Yeah.
And something that is 26 years old.
Yeah. I am glad that I did finally see this though.
Yeah, cool.
That I'm like, okay, I have seen 7.
You could finally see what is in the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did we see?
No.
We didn't see her head.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure we used to see her head.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure. Listeners, let us know, because that might be an edited version or something.
It did feel like it was edited out.
Because, I guess if you don't know what's in the box, so just say when Luke watches it, I was thinking about this. He actually won't really find out what's in the box until Kevin Spacey says, so I took her head.
Mm.
And then you like kind of assume. But
Yeah.
I'm sure in the movies when I used to watch it, I saw her head. And I read something online about that they used the mannequin for the severed head was used in a future movie where they needed a mannequin for Gwyneth Paltrow.
Whoa. Do I
So I reckon Amazon
Google
Prime's edited it out or something.
Okay.
Because I'm sure we used to see her head.
I'm going to do a live Google.
Don't traumatize yourself though. I just Googled, do you see, and then I wrote GW, and the only option is, do you see Gwyneth Paltrow's head in Seven?
Uh-oh, I think our phones are listening to us. Do you?
Audiences swore they saw Gwyneth Paltrow's head in Seven. Viewers came out of the film believing the severed head of actress Gwyneth Paltrow appeared on screen, but it did not. What?
That's, this.
I think we do see it.
There is like a phenomenon of that. Phenomenon?
Phenomenon.
There's a phenomenon
Great
of that. Of like it happens commonly where people are like, I remember, like collectively people remember it.
Weird.
But I think the movie does like such a good job of painting the picture of it, and like it's so heavily implied that your brain has already kind of made that picture up.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know. Anyway,
ratings.
How many
cut off fingertips
Ew.
of Kevin Spacey's character? How many fingertips
Ew.
out of 5 do you give this movie?
Oh, I'm gonna throw up. I give it 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a movie.
Sure. It's right down the middle.
Yeah,
because it's a movie.
I'm like, cool. I saw it. Whatever. It's done. Are you happy, Abby? I saw it, and I wasn't stoked about it. So
it's still her favorite movie. I reckon she's still telling people about gluttony. I give it 4 because I still really, really liked it.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Holds up for me.
Them nostalgia points.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I hope you and Zach are really happy together in your 7.
Yeah, Zach, let's hang out.
Chat room fan clubs.
Yeah.
Whatever you do.
I'll see you over in the chat rooms.
And I'll go hang out with Zach's girlfriend. I'll be like, it's not worth it, babe. Don't watch it. Stand your ground.
Luke's there as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was 7. You guys, we release episodes weekly, so please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
And please get on all of our socials and let us know what Quentin Tarantino movie we should do next week.
Yes.
We are so scared but so excited.
So excited.
So yes, let us know. And also, if you want to keep up to date with us, you can follow us on those social medias that I just mentioned.
Yep. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hit me up. I'm at AlexJ1. I'm back on there.
Yes.
Give
get
me
around
something
to
do.
Also, you can shoot us an email at guidetodudecinema@gmail.com.
And if you're on iTunes, please rate us 5 stars and leave us a review. It helps really well with charts and everything like that. And leave us a review and tell us what movie a dude has told you to see, and we'll review it for you.
Just like we did for Zach here today.
Yep.
All
and
right.
for that girl over there from Sans Pants with Blade.
Yeah.
Sorry again.
All right, Alexia.
Yes?
I have one thing left to say to you.
Hit me.
What's in the box?
It's a Kumite. That's what it's in the box.
It's in the box.
But we never actually see it.
Yeah.
But it's implied that it's
implied.
there.
I knew it was there. A Kumite to you.
And to you again.
Looking for a new podcast to listen to? Here's what we love courtesy of Acast Recommends.
Hi, I'm Zibby Owens, and along with Tracy Cox, who is an international sex expert and author of 17 books, I co-host the podcast Sex Talk with Zibby and Tracy, and it's SEXTOK. And the reason we have it as Sex Talk is because we happen to be viral TikTok stars at the moment, with some of our videos getting over 1.1 million views. So listen to us. I am totally shy and squeamish. She is super open, British, and hilarious. hilarious. Listen to us each week as Tracy answers 3 anonymously sourced questions about all the things you talk to your girlfriends about. Listen on Acast or wherever you get your podcasts. Sex Talk with Zibby and Tracy.
Acast recommends.